Lecture 13. Get my pen. Okay, the first question, we want to solve this equation. But solving here is not solving for value. Solving for a specific variable means isolate the variable on one side. Then legally put every term, every variable or number on the other side. Let's see A. So we have S, the variable S equals to 1/3 of A plus B plus C. Now we want to solve for C. So first we see this is 1/3 of this group. So inside a group, inside a parenthesis, we can think as a group of something. So 1/3. So what do? We want to get rid of this 1/3. We want to multiply by 3 on both sides. 3x, then we multiply 3 on this side, because 3 times 1/3 is 1, right? Because 3 is 3 over 1. So we have 3 times 1 in the numerator, and 1 times 3 in the numerator. We get a 3 over 3, which is 1. So by doing so, we get a 3s equals to A plus B plus C. Because 3 times 1/3 equals 1. 1 times anything will be anything. So 1 in multiplication doesn't contribute anything. So we can ignore multiply by 1. Now we want to isolate C, because our goal is to solve for C here. So which means we need to move A to the other side. We need to move B to the other side. Well, positive, A and B are both positive on the right-hand side. When we move to the left-hand side, it becomes negative. Or you can think minus A minus B on both sides. So now C is solved. So C equals to 3s minus A minus B. Now let's see B. B, we have PV equals N times R times T, and we want to solve for R. So one term on the left-hand side, one term on the right-hand side. And to solve for R, we want to get rid of N and T. How do we get rid of N and T? By dividing. Because it's a multiplication here, right? So basically we have NT times R. So we divide by NT. We say N over N becomes 1. T over T becomes 1. We have 1 times R times 1. That's R. And so that's it. So R equals to PV divided by NT. So R is solved. So we don't get a value in this kind of solving. So we just get the specified variable all by itself on one side. Okay, now let's see two. A life application, a word problem. It's in a company is planning to manufacture laptops. Fixed monthly cost will be 20,000. So monthly fixed, so monthly one time. And it will cost $20 to produce each laptop. So 20 is a rate, right? Rate of change. So for one laptop, it costs $20. For 2 laptops, it costs 20 times 2. For N many laptops, it will cost N times $20, which is read as 20N, 20 times N, read as 20N. Right, now let's see question 8. Write down the cost function C. So C in terms of producing X laptops. Okay, let's not use N, let's use X. X many laptops. So C of X, similarly to what we talked about in class, f of X, function of X. In this case, we use C to indicate the cost function. So C of X equals to, and this is monthly. Let's add monthly here. It's not yearly, not weekly, it's monthly, because we have this monthly. So fixed cost would be 20,000. So let's write down this number. That's just one time, like in a month. Then the cost of laptops. So it's 20 times X many laptops, which is 20X. Now we recognize this linear function because we can write C of X as 20X plus 20,000. Remember in high school, we talk about y equals mx plus a b, right? You see this is linear. It's linear. So the graph will be a line like this or like this. Okay, so this is a linear function or polynomial degree 1. Well, we have been talking about polynomial functions, polynomial degree. And in this case, the exponent of x is 1. So this is also polynomial degree 1. Linear function. All right, let's see B. Write down the average cost function, C bar, of producing X laptops. So if, right, so C bar of X. So what does this average cost mean? Average cost means we put this, we divide this cost into each laptop. So which means if we have if we produce X laptops, right? X laptops, and the average cost will be, so we have this, let's write down 20X first, plus 20,000 divided by X. Let's see, what is this? This is 20X because each laptop costs $20. So X many laptops cost 20 times X. Then the average cost, which means for each laptop, for how many? For X many laptops, totally fixed amount is $20,000. So we use 20,000 divided by X. This will be fixed cost for each laptop. So we see this, we have a polynomial function, polynomial degree 1 or linear part, and then we have a rational part. So this is called an average cost function, which means the fixed amount of cost, $20,000, is being averaged into each laptop. All right, now let's see C. How many laptops must be produced each month for the company to have an average cost of $40 per laptop? So this means C bar of X equals to $40. When we do the calculation, we do not need to carry the dollar sign with us. Just write down the number. So we need to solve for X, right? Because of how many laptops. So what do? We just do 40 equals to, because this is how the function defined. This one equals to 20X plus 20,000 divided by X. Now we need to solve this equation. Solve this equation, remember, we like to get rid of the denominators. The denominator is X. So we want to multiply everyone with X. So doing that, we get 40 times X, which is 40X, equals to 20X times X, is 20X squared. The X times 20,000 divided by X, that would be just 20,000, right? Because X divided by X becomes 1. Now this becomes solving a quadratic equation. So 20X squared minus 40X plus 20,000, then equals to 0. We see we have 3 terms, right? Our trinomial, a quadratic trinomial. So we see 20 is a common factor. So we want to divide by 20. So let's divide every term by 20. So allow me to write here. 20X squared divided by 20, that's just 1X squared. And we don't bother to write 1 in front of X squared. Minus 40X divided by 20, that's 20X. Then 20,000, oh, I'm missing a zero here, it's 20,000. 20,000 divided by 20, well, 0 cancel with 0, 2 simplify with 1, so that's 1,000. So plus 1,000 equals to 0. Now we need to solve for this. So we can think 2 factors of 1,000 is 1,000, right? Right, 20 cancel this, cancel that. Yeah, this is 1,000. So we need to think about 2 factors of 1,000 adds up to be 20. Is that possible? Yeah, I think this question has some problem. This question is not made right. Because if we solve this, we won't get a positive number. Because that's impossible of 2 factors of 1,000 factored into add up to be 20. So we need to change this number. Let's see, let's just Q10 from here. It's Q10 from here. 100 would make sense. Because 100 would be 10, 10. Then we can factor x minus 10 square equals to 0. Right, x minus 10 squared equals 0, that means x minus 10 equals to 0. That means x equals to 10. Right. So that's this question. Now, let's see 3. Okay, 3 is saying a passenger train can travel 240 miles in the same amount of time it takes a freight train to travel 160 miles. So we have 2 kinds of trains, a passenger train, yeah. And the distance equals to 240 miles. And the same time, the same amount of time. So it means the time T for passenger train equals to time for freight train. Right? So what's the distance of freight train travels is 160. So we need to use one formula. The formula is in time equals the distance divided by speed. Use R or use S. Sometimes we write as distance equals to time multiplied by the speed. Sometimes people use R, sometimes people use V, doesn't matter. So you just, the T represents time, S represents, or R or V represents the speed. So we're going to use this formula here. So time, because the 2 times are the same, the passenger train and the freight train use the same time. So we have distance for the passenger train, which is 240 miles. And we don't know its speed. Let's call the speed P. Okay. And then the freight train only travels 160 miles. And its speed, let's call F. So we have this equation from the first sentence. And the second one is that if the rate of freight train is 20 miles per hour slower than the rate, remember we call this the rate of speed train, the freight train, which is a speed, which is F, we call this F. And we call the speed or the rate of the passenger train P. So this gives us P minus F equals to 20. right? So the difference between the passenger train and the freight train is 20 miles per hour. And the passenger train is faster than the freight train because at the same time, the passenger train can travel 240 miles and the freight train only travels to 160 miles. Now with these system equations, we need to solve these system equations. So P minus F equals 20, we can write this as P equals to 20 plus F. Now we can change P, substitute P into 220 plus F. That equals 160 divided by F. Okay, so now how do we multiply it? How do we solve this rational equation? We can multiply this common denominator on both sides, or we can perform cross multiplication. Let's see this. So I have equals 3 over 6. We all know this is true, right? But if I ask you to prove this true, what do? You do 1 times 6. 1 times 6 equals to 2 times 3. This is called a cross multiplication. 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Of course, 6 equals 6. So this is called a cross multiplication. So we can perform cross multiplication. We're going to do 240 times F. We got a 240 F. Then we'll multiply 160 with 20 plus F. 160 times 20, well, 2 times 16 is 32. Then add 2 zeros, so 3200. Then plus 160 times F, which is 160 F. Now we subtract 160 F, or we bring 160 F to the other side, it becomes negative. So we have 240 F minus 160 F. And that equals to 3200. 240 minus 160, that's 80. So 80F equals to 3200. Now we divide by both sides by 80. 80F divided by 80 is 1F. Again, we don't bother to write a 1. If you want to write a 1 here, that's fine. But usually we don't. We just write F. Then 32, so 0 cancel 1 0 in the numerator. And A goes into 32 4 times. So get 40. So F equals to 40. So F equals to 40. So the rate 40. The rate of the freight train is 40. And then the passenger train is 20 miles per hour faster. So it's 40 plus 20, which is 60 miles per hour. So the average rate of each, average rate is a speed, means a speed. The average rate of the freight train is 40 miles per hour. Miles per hour, miles per hour. And the passenger train is 60 miles. Okay, that's question 3. Now let's see 4. George can clean his garage in 4 hours. So this is called a work done problem. Okay. And we consider work done as 1. It basically can be anything because in the end it gets canceled. So we use 1 easier for the calculation. So George can clean his garage in 4 hours. So that means George's speed, let's use a little g to represent. His speed is 1 over 4 hours. So work done, we consider 1 in 4 hours. So 1 over 4 is his speed or his rate of change. And his son, let's use S, can clean the garage in 6 hours. So his speed is 1 over 6. How long will it take for them to clean the garage together? So if 2 people are working together, we just add up their speed, right? So how long will it take? Let's say we don't know, we call T. It takes them T hours to finish. So when they work together, the speed will be 1 over T. That equals to the speed of George plus the speed of his son. We just need to add those two fractions. So the common denominator is 12. We multiply 3 over 3. We multiply 2 over 2. Now we have common denominator of 12. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So 5 over 12. So that's 1 over t. But we want to find a t. Then we do t over 1. So we flip the numerator and denominator. I will flip on this side too. That's 12 over 5. Right? It's like, let me give you an example. If I have 5 over 3, if I flip, I can flip left hand side to be 2 over 1, the right hand side to be 6 over 3. It's still true, right? 2 divided by 1 is 2, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I can always do this too. So flip 1 over t to be 2 over 1. I flip 5 over 12 to be 12 over 5. So t equals to 12 over 5. But we cannot answer questions like this because this is a live application. This is a word problem. So we have to make sense. So our answer has to make sense. So which means we need to convert this fraction into hours and into minutes. So what do? So first, we see 12 is 10 plus 2 divided by 5. 10 divided by 5 plus 2 divided by 5. 10 divided by 5, that's 2, so 2 hours. Then plus 2 over 5, we need to change to minutes, so 2 hours, let's write down hours. Then 1 minutes, so 2 over 5, we need to change to minutes. How do we change to minutes? 1 hour has 60 minutes, so we multiply by 60. Okay. Then 6 goes into 60, or 60 divided by 5, that's 12. 2 times 12, that's 24. So 2 times 12. So 2 hours and 24 minutes. Okay, so with the live application, we need to, our answers need to make sense. So we will answer this question to see, it will take them 2 hours and 24 minutes to clean the garage together. All right, that's 4. Let's see, 5. 5 is asking which of the following equations show direct variation and which show inverse variation. So we need to remember 2 terms, and each term has a formula. Direct variation means 2 variables like this have this relationship, y equals to kx, or y divided by x equals to k. So you can remember either one. So this means a direct variation. So y divided by x, so the divisor quotient is a constant. K represents a constant, represents some number. Inverse variation means this, means x times y multiplication equals to a constant. I guess this one probably makes more sense. So the quotient equals to a constant, the direct variation. The product equals to a constant. Let's call it inverse variation. So which is which? Let's see. So A will be this one, right? K times x. K is 5. So y equals to 5x. So this is a direct variation. And B is y equals to 5 divided by x. So if we multiply x on both sides, we get xy equals to 5. So inverse variation. The first term we also can write as y divided by x equals to 5. Right? We can divide x on both sides. C is obvious. Xy equals 12, right? Inverse variation. And the y is direct variation because we have k times x. K equals to maybe 7. Let's see 6. See 6 is C varies directly. So which means a direct variation, which means y divided by x equals to k. Or Doesn't matter which one you use. Y equals to Kx. Then y is 10 when x is 2. So when y is 10, let's substitute here. When y is 10, you can do this. When y is 10, x is 2. Oops, 2. That equals k. Well, 10 divided by 2, that's 5. So that means k equals to 5. Now find y when x is 7. K is 5, x is 7. So the y just equal to 5 times 7, 35. So variance directed. So first we need to recall the formula, either this one or this one. Then the second one, see y is 10, x is 2, which is substitute y with 10, x with 2 to get a k value. Once we get a k value, we can write down the equation as y equals to 5x, or y divided by x equals to 5. Then use the given x to find y value. Let's see 7. The object's weight on the moon, we call m, varies directly as its weight on Earth, called E. So which means, let's write down the formula. So this one is in m divided by E equals to some k, or m equals to some constant multiplied by E, either one, okay. An astronomer's weight on Earth, E, is 360. So substitute E with 360. K times that equals to, and it's equivalently to 60 pounds on moon. So that equals to 60 pounds on moon. So then we can solve for K, right? We can also use this one. K equals to moon weight divided by earthly weight. Well, that's just this to cancel. 6 going to 36 6 times, that's 1/6. So that means m equals to 1/6 E. So the moon weight is 1/6 of Earth weight. Now the question is asking, what is the moon weight? What is the m? When a person is 186 pounds on Earth, right? So just 6 going to 18 3 times, 6 going to 6 1 time. So the moon weight of that person is just 31 pounds. So this is using variance directly in life or in work problems. Okay, well, one more question, 8. Question 8 is in the water temperature of the Atlantic Ocean varies inversely. So the temperature, let's use T. Varies inversely. Remember, T multiplied by another variable equals to K, equals a constant, right? Product. Varies inversely means inverse variation. It's a product of two variables. What's the other variable? The water's depth. Let's use D. So temperature times the depth equals to some constant. So you see, at the depth of 1,000, so then 1,000, so D, let's write down, D equals to 1,000. The water temperature is 5, so T equals to 5 Celsius. So that means we do 5 times, again, when we multiply, when we do the calculation, we do not need to carry the unit with us. We just carry the number. So 5 times the depth, which is 1,000, equals to K, right? Product equals a constant. So K just equals to 5,000. Then the question is, what is the water temperature? What is T? when the depth is 5,000. So T multiplied by 5,000 equals K, and K is also 5,000. So we divide by 5,000 on both sides. So that T equals 1 Celsius. Let's use various inverse. Various inversely means the product of two variables equals a constant. All right, I'll see you in class later.